The PPT is visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Yeah, okay. I'll start then. Okay. Today we'll talk about, actually I had to continue cooker bits, but because this, like, I didn't know that I'll be taking the class today. I am not so prepared for cooker bits. Today I'll complete tapioca or cassava or yucca. So I have also asked a bit in the last class, like what in which crop generally staggered harvesting is practiced, and staggered sowing is practiced, and all we discussed. Hope you guys remember. So what is staggered harvesting? Anybody? Last time I have already told this. I'll take the name now. Staggered sowing, staggered harvesting. I have already told you guys. So who is going to tell me now what it is? Gayatri? Gayatri? Yes, Gayatri, can you tell what is staggered sowing or staggered harvesting?
No, ma'am, I don't know.
Okay, anybody else? I have already told what is staggered sowing and harvesting. Staggered sowing is practiced in dash crop. Staggered harvesting is practiced in dash crop. Hmm?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, staggered harvesting means cutting at a time, harvesting at a time,
At a time. It means only once
harvesting
or
all the
what?
crops at a time.
May come again? Repeat,
Once,
repeat.
ma'am.
Harvest.
Ma'am, once, actually, last time I answered that, ma'am, staggered harvesting means harvesting of the crop at a time.
No, yeah. Last time also you answered reverse. This time also you answered reverse only. Harvesting the crop whenever needed means
Ma'am,
whenever. Uh, yes.
last time I answered reverse. That's why I'm answering in reverse.
I gave a 15-minute explanation also on the same topic. Staggered means to stop करके थोड़ा 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 करके. If you all the recorded videos are anyhow are available, so you once check out in the video. So or means the video or audio you have, you once check out. So staggered, the term itself means thoda 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 karna. So staggered sowing means you wantedly are sowing thoda thoda karke, like the beetroot, spinach, where multiple seeds, like in a single seed there are 2 to 8 seeds present. So when you sow a single seed, single plant does not come. A 2 to 8 number of plants can come. So you don't know how much to transplant if you put how many seeds. That's the reason you will put few seeds, you will see how many plants are coming, and then accordingly, if you need more plants or more number of seeds for sowing, then you will be sowing some more seeds. And staggered harvesting is also, this is such a great crop that you need not harvest at once and keep in your home, and it will rot or may get spoiled. So whenever you have market demand, then only you can harvest, and how much ever is required, that much only you can harvest, sell. Other, if you don't harvest also in the soil, the crop will be like that only. It will not get rotten or over matured, nothing will happen. So that is staggered, thoda thoda karke. Whenever demand is there, then you can harvest. And staggered sowing means, because you don't know how many seeds are going to be produced from a single seed, when it is a multi-germ seed kind of thing like beetroot, then you can also go for staggered sowing. So generally, this is a very wonderful crop, because in many African countries and all, cassava, tapioca, or yucca is a staple food crop. Means like how we eat rice, roti. So they eat cassava. It is a staple food crop. So why? Because it is very rich in starch. It has many commercial importance, and nextly, it is a very, 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 very hardy crop. It is very hardy in nature. It has many mechanisms in itself that help to overcome drought and other heat stress and all conditions. It makes its leaves smaller. It means under stress conditions it produces smaller sized leaves. It even shrinks its stomata. Many different mechanisms are actually found in cassava to overcome its stress conditions. Okay. So nextly, I knew. Arre, so cassava, which is also called as tapioca, cassava, yucca, manioc, or mandioca. So botanically Manihot esculenta, scientific name, and the chromosome number is 36. Very important. Chromosome number is 36, and family is Euphorbiaceae. Euphorbiaceae is also the family of rubber and all. That's the reason why when you cut yucca also means the stems of this plant, the stems of the plant, you see some milky latex coming out of it if you cut it. Okay, so which is euphorbia, and the origin is Brazil. Edible part is called as a tuber. It's not rhizome, it's not a bulb or anything, it is a tuber. So it is a tuber crop. And nextly, pollination is completely cross pollinated, and another most beneficial thing is it is C3 and C4, both. It has both the mechanisms of C3 and C4. And in exam point of view, it is very important, what are the C4 plants in vegetables? Amaranthus is a C4 plant. Another C4 plant, what it is, you have to tell me. That is your homework. Nobody does. Yesterday's questions also nobody answered. Very good, very good. Keep it up like this, huh? It is up to you. I will not be in loss. I'm already doing PhD at IRI. So if it's not lost to me. No, don't read. Okay. And don't answer questions, don't put bits, don't do anything. Okay. Pollination is cross pollinated, and photosynthesis is especially both C4 and C3 mechanism. So what is C4 cycle? C4 means photo respiration under under high light intensity or under high temperature. Some plants that is photo respiration. So under high light intensity, what happens, it changes its cycle for efficient work, means efficient water utilization and food resources utilization. Its respiration, it brings up changes in its respiration. So what is C4 cycle and C3 cycle? You should know. All the plants are C3 cycles there. So those plants which have C4 cycle means photo respiration is avoided in that crops. That photo respiration process is avoided in that crops. They are highly efficient in minimizing the resource usage. So, and the bitter principle present in cassava is HCN or cyanogenic glucoside. This is also very important bit in terms of exam point of view. And this HCN is very high in quantity in case of the tubers which we eat, and also more than tubers, it is more in leaves. So what we do, are a hydrogen cyanide, how we can consume? If you boil and consume, the hydrogen cyanide gets degraded. That's the reason you have to always have cassava boiled or cooked only. So here we have the different states where mostly cassava is grown. Cassava in general is used for the industrial purpose. In India, when it comes to India, it is mostly used for industrial purpose. The sabudana which we eat, the vermicelli payasa खीर जो बनाते हैं, वो उसमें भी जो दो लंबे लंबे स्टिक्स होते हैं, the vermicelli, and the textile industry, या फिर gum, in case of gum also, in case of high quality paints also, all the base material comes from cassava paste only. And the starch, कपड़े को जो starch लगाते हैं घर पे, हम लोग starch के packets जो खरीद के लाते हैं, all that are cassava powder only. And they are very good source, and cassava chips are very tasty and very healthy. So they're different, and mostly dyes and all are prepared from cassava. It has numerous industrial uses. And nextly, in Tamil Nadu is the highest, and means highest amount of area and production compared to the other states. So cassava, when it comes, it is basically Tamil Nadu, and next followed by Kerala and Andhra Pradesh. Rest of the states are very meager. It's mostly the Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Andhra Pradesh. And nextly, coming to the plant, when you see, it is a perennial crop, but we cultivate it as annual. So we, after when the roots are formed, it is almost 11 months crop, 10 to 11 months crop. And nextly, in that also there are short, long and medium terms, which we will come, I'll tell you in the following slides. Based on that, the hydrogen cyanide content also varies, means the long duration, short duration or medium duration. The duration also helps in determining the amount of cyanogenic compounds present in it. So generally it is a perennial crop, I have told you, but we cultivate it as annual, no? And based on the growth also, you have erect, where, and spreading types. So next, that is not important. Coming to flowering point of view, flowering, profuse flowering is observed. Male sterility is also present. Generally, they ask this question in exam. So what is the sex form of cassava? They will ask. Monoecious crops. Cassava is a monoecious crop. You remember that means male and female flowers are born on the same plant but at different places of the plant. So cassava is a monoecious crop, very important exam point of view. And nextly, male sterility is highly prevalent in cassava. These two bits you have to remember. Now coming to the tuber characteristics. So what is the region that you eat in a tuber? So tuber is the storage part. So what is the actual region that you eat? So you know that tuber is nothing but a modified stem. So in that, tuber is a modified stem. In that you eat the periderm. Periderm is nothing but the skin region, and the flush region, that is parenchymatous tissue, is the edible region. And the central vascular strands which is there, so in the middle of the flush, the central vascular strands, so there is also a physiological disorder in which those vascular discoloration is observed. Okay, and nextly, I'm audible, right? Now I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Up to which slide did you guys see? ये slide हो गया?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, in this
Third one, ma'am,
all
third
other
slide.
shapes and all are
Tuber
not so
characteristics.
important for you. Leave it, not so required. And coming to the benefits, I have already told you in not only many uses, like this monosodium glutamate particles are produced, sweeteners are produced, medicines, glues, biodegradable products, and woods, paper is produced, textile, I have already told you. So immense number of uses are there with this starch content of cassava. So mostly, so you can see it is a very high energy giving crop, means it has high calorie values of 157 kilocalories. That's the reason why it is used as a staple food crop. And nextly, there are very less number of hybrids that are present. Central Institute of Tuber Research, which is present in Thiruvananthapuram, is CTCRI works on this cassava crop, and only less number of hybrids are available for us. H97, H165, H226, Sri Harsha, Sri Padmanabha. So in that numbers you need not remember. Generally they don't ask in exam, but you have to remember the Sri Harsha, which is a triploid variety that you have to remember. And next is Sri Padmanabha, which is an exotic germplasm, which is resistance and all. What is the major disease you have to know? That is this cassava mosaic disease. Mosaic disease is the most devastating disease in case of cassava. And nextly, two hybrids only you need to remember properly, that is Sri Harsha and Sri Padmanabha. And in that also again, Sri Harsha is more important because it has a special character of triploid, being triploid in nature. So generally, what is the nature of it? Is a diploid or tetraploid? What is cassava? Anybody? That is also homework, you tell me. Nobody answers anything. Okay, next is Sri Sahaya. Name itself says Sahaya. So it might have come up because of many aids you can remember. So multiple cross hybrid. So multiple parents are involved in it. And next is Sri Atulya. So Atulya, Arka Atulya is a capsicum variety. Sri Atulya is a cassava variety. You have to remember like that. And Sri comes for all the Thiruvananthapuram CTCRI coming released varieties, has the Sri as the prefix. Okay, so Sri Atulya, which is also a triploid variety, Sri Rekha, Sri Padma, Sri Apurva is again a triploid variety. Remember the triploid varieties, remember the multiple varieties. multiple cross varieties, that will be enough. And nextly nidhi, this is the exam point of view they ask, because nidhi comes under sandy conditions, so tolerant to moisture stress, and it comes under sandy conditions. Nidhi you have to remember. And Sri Prakash, Kalpaka, so you just remember the name kind of things. Nobody will ask you the numbers, the names you have to remember, and if it has any special character you have to remember that. Okay. Nextly, here you can see the CTCRI released Sri Vishakam. Vishakam, why? Because it has a little, you can see a little reddish color or pinkish color compared to others. Sri Vijaya, Sri Jaya, Sri Harsha, Sri Sahya, Sri Prakash. So names you have to remember. And others are Co1, Co2, Co3. So if it is Co, then it is released from Tamil Nadu, TNAU. So you need not remember all this because Co numbers are present everywhere. So you need not remember all this. Leave it. But just you know that yes, these in cassava also co series are present. And others also tapioca yetapur 1, that you remember, that will be enough. And here you can see the co1, co2, co3, and the tapioca yetapur 1 is the last but one picture. And nextly, coming to the cultivational practices, I have already told you that it is a very hardy crop. It means it grows in a wide range. So this wide range is 4.5 to 7, which means it grows in a very well acidic soil conditions. Nextly, the pH, even under low soil fertility conditions also it can grow up very well, because it's a very hardy crop and it can tolerate very high temperatures of 25 to 30 degrees, and a minimum of rainfall is also very much good like enough for it. It does not require high amount of rainfall. A minimum of rainfall, that is 500 to 700 means 50 to 70 centimeters, which is very less amount of rainfall. Under that conditions also the crop can thrive very well. It is a highly drought tolerant and hardy crop, and can extremes of temperatures also it can withstand. That's the reason very the poor, not poor, but the drought infected, or where agriculture cannot be you cannot cultivate many crops, then cassava is a main staple food in that kind of places. And nextly, the cultivate, when you come to the propagation, it is generally vegetatively propagated with the help of cuttings. And here it is a very important point in exam point of view. In case of your net exam or GRF, SRF, any exam, net exam especially, very important what size of the cutting you are taking, which part of the cutting you are taking. Generally, they in my net exam only they asked upper portion, lower portion, middle portion, like that they will ask in exam. So it is the middle portion of the cutting you have to take, and that cuttings are called as sets. The term is sets. So generally 8 to 10 months matured, 2 to 3 centimeters thick. Bhavesh, what happened? Bhavesh Verma, got your name here. What happened? You have any doubt or you said something, Bhavesh?
My phone was hanged, ma'am.
ओके ओके, तुम्हारा नाम आया था स्क्रीन पे तो मैंने इसलिए पूछ लिया. ओके, सो जनरली द टर्म विच यू कॉल फॉर द कटिंग्स इज द सेट्स, एंड द सेट एंड इट इज जनरली द मिडिल पोर्शन. very important in exam point of view. 8 to 10 months old mature cutting, it should be set. It should be with 2 to 3 centimeters of diameter, and it should at least have 8 to 10 nodes with 15 centimeters long. Where all those points which are highlighted in blue up to now what I have said are very important in case of net exam also. But like very minute things of production are asked in case of net exam. So in that terms it is very important. And in GRF SRF point of view also, like length, how many nodes, how many months old cutting, very important. And the number of sets. In your glosses or even in your essence, it will be mentioned how many nodes. If for 8 to 10 number of nodes, it is 20,000 sets per hectare. If you have more than 15 number of nodes, then it is less than like almost 5 to 7 nodes, then it is 40,000 cuttings or sets per hectare. Like that, the numbers will be also there in case of your Essence or Gloucester's book. That also you have to remember. Now I haven't, it has not been added in it. And they will ask you in Essence, you will read 40,000, 20,000, 60,000 cutting, 55 to 60,000 cutting sets per hectare. And for everything, you have different nodes. If you have more number of nodes, then less number of cuttings will be used. In exam, they will ask you which is the ideal number of sets or which is the ideal number of nodes also. So generally it is 45,000 sets per hectare is the ideal one. 40 range is the correct answer in exam point of view. Okay. And nextly, base tips. So for a better rooting capacity, to increase the rooting capacity, biological agents such as azospirillum or phosphobacter. So azospirillum is for nitrogen and phosphobacter is for proper phosphate assimilation. And nextly, other micronutrients not so important, but this sets, number of sets, nodes of set is very important. Next, coming to field preparation, it is a general field preparation. What is here important is the spacing. You have to know that it is 60 into 90 centimeters range. The range you have to remember, that is 60 into 90 centimeters. And nextly, the angle, it has to be placed in 45-degree angle. This is also an important point. 45-degree angle and 60 into 90 centimeters of the spacing range you have to know. And you can see here the sets have been cut, and here you see it is not straight, it is in 45-degree angle. Okay. Here you can see how many number of sets are there. If it is 75 into 75, 90 into 90, 60 into 60, based on the spacing also number of sets change. But in exam point of view, based on spacing, how many sets are accommodated, they will not ask. Based on the number of nodes, how many sets will you be using is the exam point of view important question. This is not important. Okay. And how you will place the set is selected by removing 1/3 of the upper portion is discarded, and middle and bottom portion should be sown. The middle and the lower portion is most important for sowing. The upper portion, if you take 30 centimeter long branch, in that upper portion you have to discard. 1/3 of the top portion you have to discard. The lower portion you have to take for sowing. Okay. And nextly, here coming to the planting systems. So you can go for any system that is planting in ridges or molds or flatbeds, anything can be done. And this is not so important. Fertilizer, leave it. And I have already told you that it is a very hardy crop which can even survive with 50 to 70 centimeters of water. So it means the root volume requires a very less amount of water of about 20 centimeters around the soil is enough. And cassava crop duration, as I've already mentioned, it is 10 average life duration is 10 months, because it is generally a perennial, but we grow as annual. So it is generally 10 months, but there are short duration crops which can be harvested from 7 months, and long duration crops which can be harvested up to 12 months. Okay. There is a classification of short, medium, and long duration, where short duration crops have less hydrogen cyanide in their roots or the tubers, whereas long duration crops have high amount of cyanides present in the roots. So nextly, here you can see withhold the irrigation 45 days before the harvesting. So when it comes to tuber crops, root crops, or bulb crops, whatever crop it is, after watering, you will never harvest. You have to stop the irrigation before harvesting. And nextly, coming to intercultural operations, there is no specific intercultural operation followed. Like in case of tubers, potato or carrot, you have this earthing up operation to be done. But here you need not have any earthing up operation or anything. It is basically very deep rooted only. So there is no such need for this crop. And coming to weedicides and all, not so important. And intercropping. So I have already told you where this crop is mostly grown. Highest grown in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and both of the states are very much well known for its intercropping activities. So both the states, Tamil Nadu and Kerala, in both the states there is a good amount of intercropping followed, and cassava is included in those intercropping systems because it requires minimum things. Minimal requirement of the crop is there, so you can include it in any crop crop chain or cycle. And nextly, many pests are there, even storage pests are major problem when it comes to cassava. So what are the storage pests? They will cause the, I have shown you the vascular region, no, generally that becomes black. Some many weevil is a very very major problem. So actually what they do for storage of cassava is mostly used for processing purpose only, no. So if you cannot store fresh cassava, somebody has already harvested, it is a staggered crop, but a staggered harvesting crop. But what happens, you cannot just leave the crop in the field, no. What will happen, you have to use the land for growing other crops also. You cannot keep your crop single crop and you cannot survive. You have to go for cropping other crops, other plants also. That's the reason people harvest it and store it in some rooms. But what happens, those fresh roots do not remain fresh for long. They will be mostly rotting because it's high in starch content, it is high bulky material, no. So storing them becomes a very difficult thing. That's why for storage parboiling is followed. Means you will be partially boiling the cassava roots or tubers and then storing it so as to increase the shelf life. This is also one done. And another thing is they are made into chips and then stored. These are all like some tricks to be store the cassava properly in order to avoid those, because they're very bulky in nature, so they get spoiled. You cannot store it properly. And coming to nextly, what is there, here you can see the different pests, the scale insects, which is Anidomytilus albus, and the mealybugs. Mealybugs are major problem, that is Pseudococcus or a species, Stemborus, Pterophia, malaria. And you need not remember so much, because in this crop they will mostly focus on the basic concepts, because it's a hardy crop, and it is a very rare, means not commonly grown crop. They will ask the economic importance, they will ask the chromosome number, they will ask the photosynthetic range, the hydrogen cyanide compound, the duration, few varieties, because there are Sahaya, Harsha, Prakash, Vishakam, those kind of things they will ask. And not on the pest and disease, not so important. So not important, I'll just skip this. Okay. White flies and all, not so important. Other diseases you can see, cassava mosaic disease is a major disease. So main breeding objective when it comes to cassava is breeding against the cassava mosaic virus, the CMD, cassava mosaic disease. Others are not so big diseases, means not so major diseases for breeding purpose. I told you, no, this vascular, see how it is rotting here. This is the fusarium, dry rot. Okay, this is dry rot. And set rot means even the sets, you know what they will do, they will not cut and immediately sow. They will cut the sets, they will keep it for a few days, for 15 days, something like that, for root initiation, and then they will go for sowing. So in that time also the sets may become rot because of diplodia, or diplodia is an organism that causes dieback actually. So that dieback causing diplodia can also cause the sets to become rot. Then your planting material will decrease, no. See, even cassava chips are also spoiled. Even so what happens, you, because they are not able to store fresh, I told you they are parboiled and they are made into chips, no. Some of the weevil species are recorded to even spoil the fried chips of cassava. And some, even see, Rhizopus and Penicillium species are also found to attack the cassava chips. Therefore, we have to maintain utmost low moisture content, okay, so as to prevent the disease. And I have already told you that CMD, that is cassava mosaic disease, is a major problem, for which is transmitted by which organism? It is the vector. So yellow sticky trap is there. I have, oh, this is also very important. Blue sticky trap is used for what? Yellow sticky trap is used for what? Generally sticky traps are used for what? Pheromone traps is used for trapping male or female insects. You should know everything. For cassava mosaic disease, whitefly is the major vector. And generally CMV, if it is cucumber mosaic virus, CMV, then the aphid is the major what you call vector. But here you can see cassava mosaic disease, whitefly is the vector. And what is the other mosaic? Yellow vein mosaic of okra. For that also whitefly will be there. So only for these two you have whitefly. Other all mosaics generally it is aphid. This point I have already repeated in the previous class. And here for whiteflies you use yellow sticky traps, and for thrips and all you use blue color sticky traps. It is very important that you know which trap is used for what. Okay. And nextly, the harvesting of the crop, I have already told you that there are different ranges in the crop, like short duration, medium duration, and long duration, where the short duration crops can even be harvested at 6 to 7 months. By cutting the leaves completely, the plant upper portion is removed and the complete plant is uprooted. Okay, under irrigated conditions, both actually in Tamil Nadu, rain-fed conditions also, this crop is heavily grown under rain-fed conditions also. And under irrigated it gives 40 to 50 tons. Under rain-fed it gives 20 to 25, means almost half of the yield it gives. So complete uprooting of the crop is done. Then for harvesting, complete uprooting is done. And what is the maturity index when it comes to cassava? The maturity index is the soil, because the soil will crack. You will see a prominent crack in the soil and the leaves becoming yellowing. Then it means that in the under the surface the cassava is ready. So the soil cracking is the main feature. Okay. Coming to storage, I have already told you, because it's a very bulky crop which has very high moisture and high amount of what do you call, starch. So it can be easily deteriorated. It can get deteriorated easily through physiological deterioration, or because it can respire, because it's very it will be respiring. No, it has more surface area, so more amount of stomata on it, so it can be easily, it becomes dehydrated and dried. And other is microbial contamination, because it's more succulent in nature. This stupid. This slide complete. Sorry. अरे what did I do? कैसे आता है? यहाँ पे आता है ना. So mostly what happens, the first one, that is the physiological problems, means the hello, now it is clearly visible, no? Hello, the previous here only it cut, no? Before only you could not hear me.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
पहले भी नहीं सुनाई दे रहा था आपको?
मैम from the storage slide.
From the storage style, ये फिर से बोलना है ना, ये first से बोलना है मुझे.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ ठीक है. So what happens when it comes to storage? I have already told you that this crop is highly bulky in nature, which has high moisture content and storage starch content. What happens? It gets easily deteriorated. And what are the two main reasons that it can deteriorate? The first one is physiological reasons, because it has high amount of surface area. It has high amount of respiration. That's the reason why it can get spoiled easily. And the second one is the microbial. Second one is the microbial or the secondary deterioration. That is because of the microorganisms, because it has high amount of moisture content in it. So it can easily get spoiled because of that. Second, so the first one, that is the physiological one, starts when just within 24 hours only it will start, because it doesn't stop respiring, no. So, and what are the major reasons of its spoilage? Vascular streaking, the wounds that occur on the tuber, these are all causing the primary or the physiological damage, that is in respiration rate in the tissue levels. And the second one is the microbial, that is because of the microorganisms like fungi, bacteria that come because of the wet or dry conditions present on the tuber. And this may start after a week, but the respirational or the physiological losses will start within 24 hours. Next is preparing the fresh cassava roots for storage. So because it is very difficult to store, there is a process where, to avoid the rotting, first we have to cut the neck region or the collar region properly, and after that what you have to do is you have to properly wash the roots, and you have, when you remove the collar region also, be careful that you're not removing onto the tuber, means up to the tuber you should not cut it, then the tuber will be damaged, tuber tissues may be damaged. So little bit of stem you have to leave with the tuber, about 2 to 5 centimeters of the stem part should be attached with the tuber itself. Like that you have to harvest properly, clean and neatly spread on the land, so that there is no bulking nature followed, and minimize the injury while you harvest it. Any crop, minimize root crop, bulb crop, tuber crop, the main thing is you have to minimize injuries while you harvest, because you don't know how you are harvesting, it is under the soil, no? And what is the curing temperature? Curing temperature of sweet potato, cassava, potato, all this, onion, so all this, even for root crops it's there, but not so important as onion, potato, sweet potato and cassava. All the curing temperature, especially sweet potato, is very very important. I don't know why, but in exam point of view, the sweet potato is very important. So curing 30 to 40 degrees at 95 to 90 to 95% RH for 2 to 5 days is important. Curing temperature also you have to remember. And coming to storage conditions, which is 1 to 5 degrees and 80 to 90% RH, and that this can provide a shelf life of about 6.5 months, which is almost 7 months of time it will provide the storage. And here I have already told you, no, vermicelli is prepared, rava, the rava which we eat, no, upma bana ke khate hain, that is also nothing but cassava actually. The fries and all, the macaroni, pasta, all the noodles that you have, the clothes starch, it has immense number of uses actually. And papads and all. So chips are very tasty, they're very very tasty. So coming to set standards, so I have set standards based on this IMSCS. So what is IMSCS? Full form you have to tell me, this is also your homework. And approximately this also is important, means what, according to IMSCS, what are the standards of this set to be sown? What is a good quality one? That is age of about 7 to 12 months and diameter of 1.5 to 2 centimeters, and the approximate length being 20 centimeters, and approximate numbers being of nodes being 5 number of nodes, and presence of latex at the cut end of the plant stake is indication of good quality planting material. So if you're taking a set and somebody says it's a good set or a bad set for planting, how you will identify? Take a blade and just make a slight cut on it. If you cut the set, then milk should come out, the latex should come out. If latex is coming, it means it's a good set, you can go, it is a good planting material. If you cut with a blade and nothing is oozing out, it means it's a poor quality, or it has been an aged set, it is very aged. So if it is aged, means it is dry inside, means it cannot have that much of potential to root properly. That's why this milking or the latex excision is a important indication of a fresh set. Okay, and these are the references. Okay, leave it. And this is about cassava crop. Okay, any doubts? Cassava is a very means limited number of bits you have to read in exam point of view, and it is a immensely useful vegetable. We do not know that we consume cassava, but we have been consuming cassava in different forms. It has industrial immense uses. So yes, any doubts regarding the crop or anything else? Anybody?
मैम
Yeah. Yes, Bhavesh?
मैम एक रिक्वेस्ट था, जैसे कि आज हम पढ़े ना जिस चीज को, उसका लिंक मैम हम लोग को रात तक मिल जाता ना, तो मैम वो नोट्स हम लोग को हो जाता और एक क्विक रिवीजन भी हो जाता मैम, तो ज्यादा अच्छा रहता अगर उसी दिन लिंक मिल जाए तो।
ओके ओके, तुम्हें उसी दिन लिंक चाहिए? या डेफिनेटली, क्योंकि मैं लिंक कन्वर्ट करके उन्हें भेज देती हूँ और उनके पास से भी मुझे लिंक आना चाहिए ना। डेफिनेटली मैं भेजने की पूरी कोशिश करूंगी।
मैम क्या है कि आज आप पढ़ा दिए, फिर हम उसको तुरंत पढ़ लिया तो मैम एक माइंड में वो याद भी रहता है, मैं वही सोच रहा था मैम कि
ओके डेफिनेटली आई विल, मैं इसका पूरी कोशिश करूंगी और होगा, पक्का होगा ये। एनीथिंग? क्योंकि आप बोल रहे थे क्लासेस रेगुलर नहीं थे, मैं रेगुलर करने का पक्का ध्यान ले रही हूँ, और आज किसी और का क्लास, किसी और को क्लास लेना था, और जब वो नहीं ले पाए, मैं क्लास को कैंसिल करना मैं नहीं चाहती थी, क्योंकि आपको लग जाएगा कि 2 दिन क्लास बता दिया, तीसरे दिन छोड़ दिया। मुझे वो बात नहीं चाहिए थी, इसीलिए मैं लास्ट मिनट में भी तैयार थी क्लास लेने के लिए। सो डेफिनेटली ये भी पक्का मैं ध्यान रखूंगी कि आपको लिंक्स जल्दी से जल्दी पहुंचे। और कोई सजेशन या फिर डाउट? यस, और कोई? It is very open. I am not your teacher. It's completely a give and take relationship, because you have any doubt, you are very open, because I'm not your teacher, you remember that. Yes, somebody was speaking something.
मैम
बोलिए अनुज।
हेलो
हाँ अनुज बोलिए।
मैम, आपने अभी बताया था कि मतलब वो मिनिस्टर जो बताया थे, यानी 20,000 पर हेक्टर इसमें, बट हैंडबुक में दिया है कि 50,000 दिया गया है।
मैंने बोला था आपको आइडियल है 45 के रेंज में। मैंने ये भी बोला था, आप रिकॉर्डेड क्लास में अभी मैं जब भेजूंगी ना, आप फिर से सुनिएगा। मैंने बोला है यहाँ पे 20,000 है, लेकिन आइडियल कभी ऑलवेज 45,000 के अराउंड होता है, 50 भी नहीं, इट इज 45 अराउंड। In case of net ASRB net exam,
Okay,
the answer is 45,000 sets per hectare. और कोई
Okay,
डाउट्स बेटा?
नो मैम।
Okay, so people are leaving the class also. Okay, I will definitely try to share this earliest. Yes, Ankita, you wanted to say anything? Okay, maybe okay, then I will end the class. If you have any doubt, you can personally text me or ask in the group as well. Please try to do the assignments that I give you. I'm not giving it for fun, I'm just giving it so that you, if you are not willing to read also, at least by doing the assignment, एक तो बिट आपके दिमाग में चले जाए। मुझे कोई भी बेनिफिट नहीं है अगर आप असाइनमेंट कर रहे हो तो। ओके, इट इज अप टू यू। इफ यू वांट टू डू यू डू, इफ यू डोंट वांट टू डू, गो टू हेल्प, आई कांट हेल्प यू। ओके, ऑल द बेस्ट। कोई भी डाउट हो तो डोंट हेजिटेट टू अप्रोच मी। ओके, ऑल द बेस्ट गाइस, मैं क्लास को एंड कर रही हूँ। Yes, Bhavesh has told that it is Indian minimum seats certification standards. Very good, Bhavesh. I don't know if you're there in the class or not.